Hey, it's Navid here, and for this session, we are going to talk about AI-powered websites, how you can create a website in minutes using AI. And I have Areg of 10Web here today to show us more of their software and how you can actually do this. He's going to demo this, and I have my good friend and partner in this project, Jan, with me too, all the way from Germany, and I think Areg, he was in Armenia. I'm actually recording this from Stockholm, so we are all over the world doing this. So really, really excited. And if you wanted at some point during this session, actually check out 10Web and what it can do for you, you can go to navid.links/10Web. And I think later Areg will also provide some kind of promo code as well for you. You can, I think it's going to be like Navid or something like that, and you can just check it out. So that's what we have for you here today. So warm welcome, guys.
Oh yeah. Hi Navid. Hi Jan. Thanks a lot for inviting. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. And we just spoke off camera that you can build AI websites in 2 minutes. So
Yep.
I am really excited to see this, but we've got some housekeeping beforehand.
Yeah, I mean it's so cool what you can do these days with AI, and especially like seeing a lot of stuff pop up with your skills. I think like this Framer, they can do some stuff with AI building websites. Then we saw what 10Web is doing with Elementor to build websites really quickly, and that's why I invited Arik here to demonstrate this essentially for us. But before we get into the full demo and actually proving you that this can be done, we want to get into a little bit of why you built, why 10Web was created and stuff like that. So let's get into that as well, and then we get into the demonstration.
So first of all, the amazing thing is that whatever we are doing right now is only the beginning of using AI in website development and also why not design. So there's just like a ton of room for improvement, and there are like many companies working on it right now. And we have a huge vision of what this can become. But to start things off, you asked how 10Web was created. So 10Web was created initially as a WordPress hosting. We created our hosting, which was helping companies and more specifically digital agencies and freelancers to host a lot of websites and manage them in a more, well, in one dashboard, much easier. So this is how 10Web started. But then at one point, I wasn't at the company yet. The first version of 10Web AI Builder was created. And this was way before this AI boom that happened alongside ChatGPT and Midjourney. So what we were doing was you could use AI to bring your websites from different platforms like Wix or from custom code to WordPress. And you could recreate the visuals on Elementor at 10Web. So this is how we started. And then when the AI revolution happened, we decided to create another version of 10Web AI Builder. And now we use generative AI to understand what a user needs and basically create a website based on the inputs they provide.
That is so cool, Arek. Who's the target audience for that specific type of builder? Why would somebody, instead of going with the template kit you can buy on ThemeForest or some that Elementor has already, why do you need an AI, or why would you use a website built with AI?
So the way I see it, the biggest advantage here is personalization. And you get a much better starting point. It is like I see a lot on the internet that some companies provide wrong messages. They are promising too much to potential customers. Like you will get instantly working website. And the 2 minutes that I mentioned, I don't want to lie and say that, oh, you will be able to have a perfect website in 2 minutes. But what you will get is a much, much better base to build on it. And even if you don't have technical skills, you will be able to use our drag and drop builder to edit whatever you want. And since you have a base, it kind of motivates you as well. So in terms of user base, it's still hard to say it because the technology is new, and with each feature that we are developing, we kind of start targeting non-technical users more and more. So initially, as I said, it was for more like agencies and developers to accelerate their work. But right now we are transitioning more to people with no technical skills who just want to start their business and have their website to represent themselves.
Awesome. So actually, something I was thinking a lot, because you said you cannot do a perfect website in kind of 2 minutes, right? But do you have some pros and cons when it comes to creating websites using the power of artificial intelligence and AI? Like what have you seen? I mean, we have seen kind of a lot with content like that is not always the highest quality if you're not doing the right way. Is it the same you have seen with websites, and how you can actually make it more personalized when you're using something like an AI website builder?
So you mentioned the first pro. It's the personalization, because it's not just a random template about your industry. This is something that's created for you. You can automatically edit it very quickly, choose the colors that you want. And also the content from the get-go is created based on the inputs that you provide. So this is very customized. And if you don't like some of the contents, it's absolutely fine, because you can edit the content of this specific section by providing a better input. You can do all the basic ChatGPT things, but directly on your website. So this whole integration is, I would say, the biggest pro, at least for me. And in terms of cons, there is nothing to really to say, because you again start with template with both cases. But in one case, this is just a template, and in the other one, it's a web template for you.
Yeah, and that's something that I've seen in the past as well. I've got a background in building WordPress websites for over a decade by now. And with a template, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have a design experience, for example, you're bombarded with a gazillion different choices. So what template do you pick? What is a good one? What is a bad one? How easy will it be to customize in the future? Those are stepping stones that people don't think about when they jump into templates for WordPress websites, or for Framer or Webflow for that matter as well. And when you go into this with the perspective of, let me use AI to do the heavy lifting, to build something I know is right for my industry, and then I just need to fine tune a little bit, need to update the texts here and there, put my own images in, of course, and really make it my own, I think you're skipping ahead by leaps and bounds with this process.
The very first time that I built a website on WordPress, there was also the choice, okay, should I get a theme? What is a theme? What is a
Right.
template? What's the difference between these two? How am I supposed to know which one to use? So it was very, very complicated for me as a non-technical person as well. And there's actually one more thing that came to my mind. So when I was building that for my first website on WordPress, it was very difficult for me. So in the end, I ended up creating a website on Wix. But since I'm a marketing specialist, I really wanted to be on WordPress because it has better infrastructure in terms of SEO optimization. You can very quickly add blogs, and like there are a lot of plugins that help you optimize your SEO. So I really wanted, and also the speed, of course. So I wanted to be on WordPress, but I couldn't because of technical limitations. So this is also something, this is specific to TenWeb because we are a WordPress-based builder. So this is something that I value a lot right now that we provide to our clients.
Very cool. So actually something we wanted to do as well, like maybe you can show us later, but something we wanted to see as well is like what kind of types of websites you can build, because I mostly build my personal branding website, summit websites and stuff like that, but I don't know what type of websites you guys specialize in. Maybe you can showcase some later when we do the demonstration or the demo of the software.
Yeah, absolutely. I will show the different options that you can select. during the demo.
One quick question with that. What are the prerequisites? Like, what do I need to have in place when I want to build an AI website? Like, what do I need to bring to the AI so that it creates something that's actually useful?
The idea. So, of course, the more defined you have your idea and the better your content is, the website will be better as well. But there is nothing, at least for TimeWeb, there are many AI-powered website builders in the world right now. Some might ask you for a logo, others might ask you for a color palette. But one thing that connects all of those website builders is that you need to have a clear, defined idea of what you want to do.
And how easy would you say is for a beginner to do this? Like, can anyone do this, or do you need some marketing experience, website experience, or it's like for anyone to basically just have some information about what you're trying to do, and then just pull it in? I've seen kind of how it works. You just put in some information, and then it creates it. Is it that simple to create a beautiful looking website using TenWeb?
Of course, the skill set that you have is going to impact the website. Because yes, if you are a designer, or for example, if you are a graphic designer, you will create your own unique visuals and add them to the website. If you are a developer, you may be able to create more complicated functionality that's not like present from the start. But if we are talking about like very basic websites, or if we are talking about e-commerce websites, basically you do not need any special skills. What you need is, well, will to create the website and a bit of time to explore the builder. So of course, I would say it is intuitive, but there are things to know about TimeWeb Builder. Luckily, there are guides, there are videos that you can use to learn. So if you want to build a website, you will be able to do it with zero background. But again, the final result depends a lot on the skills and the time you are willing to put into creating your
I was just thinking because TenWeb is like kind of integrated with the Elementor, so I assume you need to know the more skills you have in a WordPress or a builder like Elementor is going to help you, because then you can tweak more and add more, details, whatever you're trying to do with the builder. It's the same. Like we have used Thrive Architect a lot, or Thrive Themes. Is the same kind of the same concept, right? But you're adding like AI on top of this to kind of speed up your workflow.
Yeah, we have upon Elementor. We also have our unique widgets that help to simplify this. And for example, if you want to create product pages, in case of an e-commerce website, you can create, or you can write the descriptions inside it with AI. So immediately you can create product names with it. And initially, when you generate your website, it also fills your website with AI generated images that are also very closely corresponding to the content.
It's really exciting because I see two major benefits of this whole craze. And I have to say, when I saw AI in 2019 for the first time, I stopped coding. Because I thought like there has to be something coming, and now we're seeing this where AI takes over development more and more. But what this does is, first of all, it empowers developers to spend more time on the really fun things, on the strategically important work, on making tough decisions, and letting AI do the grunt work of just building sites. But it also empowers those who don't have the time or don't have the money to hire a developer, or don't have the will, as you said earlier, to build these websites themselves. They just go into AI, tell the AI what the website should look like, what it is about, who's the target audience, yada, yada, yada. And the AI does the heavy lifting. So it's kind of like a tide that rises all boats in a sense.
I absolutely agree. And the way I imagine AI website building will be in future, and by saying in future, it can be like in 6 months or 1 year, the way things are progressing right now. It will be like talking to a developer. So you are just talking to this AI assistant or anything, and it builds a website for you, and then you also edit by explaining what you want to be changed. So I think it will be sooner rather than later, but it can also take 5 years until we get there.
I don't see how that would take 5 years, to be
Yeah.
honest.
No, I have a question regarding this. It's something I spoke to Jan about. Like, imagine I have a website already. I love this website, but I want to create like a new landing page or a summit page or whatever. Do you think now I think it's still early to just kind of replicate perfect pixel by pixel, but do you see this like going forward that actually I can have a website on my site with my brand and basically tell the AI builder to say, hey, okay, I want a similar one, but with this kind of information? Do you think that's going to work in the future to actually be more accurate in terms of exactly how I want it?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Wow.
mean, the initial version of 10 Web Builder that I told you in the beginning, that was recreating the pages, was kind of based on the idea that you just described. So you
Okay.
could either recreate your pages or recreate pages of other websites and then edit whatever you want on them. And it wasn't copying any codes or anything, so it was just basically understanding the page. Our AI was understanding, okay, so this is the form, which means a form widget with its functionality will be here. And this is a button, so we'll bring a button here. And it was creating websites on this. If we continue working on similar products, or it doesn't have to be us, anyone, I see that it can be a reality very, very soon.
Wow. That's gonna speed up the workflow so much, like with very time consuming tasks. Even though I can work with a designer or I can like clone pages, but it would be easier to just use the power of AI to. I'm very picky with design, so I'm like I want to make it like pixel perfect, almost like the design matching. And I think hopefully soon AI can do that. Then if you like either with 10Web or other tools, like to just do the pages I already have for my brand that a designer has worked on. That would be really exciting. But I don't know, Jan, if you have anything else here, or we should actually go into the demonstration and actually build a website in just a few minutes using the power of AI. What do you say?
Yeah, I think we've teased people long enough.
I think
Let's
that's what people
show
are
it.
here for. So let's do that. That would be really cool. I have played around with 10Web a little bit myself, but seeing it from Areg would be really cool here to see how he's like a total pro building it with the software.
Sure, I would love to do that. So yeah, basically this is the first screen that you will see if you start generating a website with AI on 10Web. And first of all, you need to tell us what kind of a website you want to create. Do you want an e-commerce store, or do you want an informational website that will basically present your business, or maybe you want a blog? All of those are here. So we discussed before what kind of business types we support. I think it's like whatever comes to your mind, there is a very big chance that this specific business type will be here. Navid, Jan, maybe you can just suggest a business type here as a test.
What
Let's
do you think
go.
is more relevant, Jan, for this?
I was just going to say, let's go with an e-commerce store selling digital books. I would imagine as creators, we have quite a few people watching this who have like courses, books, PDFs, stuff like that.
And maybe something like that is you typically more complicated. You can use Shopify and stuff like that too, but now we are using WordPress, so we can showcase this. Would be exciting to see how that would work with.
And it's actually really hard to get a WooCommerce shop right on WordPress.
All right, now we are going to show you how you can build a website actually selling books, an e-commerce store in WordPress using the power of AI and the 10Web platform. So take it away, Areg, and show us how this is done in just a few minutes here. I'm really excited to check this out.
So yeah, basically the screen that you see right now, I'm currently inside the 10Web dashboard, and you will be greeted with a similar interface if you are just signing up. If you want to test it, you can test the AI builder from our website. And this is basically how the process goes. So I select what type of a website I want to create, an informational website or an e-commerce store. Since you requested it for it to be a bookstore, let's go with an online store one. We have to select the store type, so let's go with bookstore. And here is where we have to input the main idea of what the website is going to be about. So we can name the store, I don't know, books and PDFs. That's the first thing that came to my mind. And here we can describe the store. And to make this process quicker, I can write here something like, we sell books and PDFs about how to use AI in marketing. And to make the description better, I can press the button here, Enhance with AI, and it will take my input from here and enhance it so that the final output of the website is better. We press Next here. We create the initial 3 products. So this can be Hacking Growth, which can be, and another book can be
SEO with AI.
SEO with AI, and the last one can be
email marketing.
So, and we can also write down the categories for each of those. So this can be growth, this can be SEO, and this can be email, because we might have multiple books about email marketing or SEO, of course. And we press Next. We select a tone of voice. I'm personally a fan of more informal content, always. So, and we press Finalize here. So what it does, it creates a blank website on 10 web hosting. It creates your homepage. It creates multiple product pages. This is not what you are going to receive in the end. It's not just a simple landing page. This is going to be a full functional website where people can add products to cart, check out. You will have the functionality to connect your payment methods. Basically everything to manage an e-commerce store. And now I'm really hoping this works very quickly, because I gave a promise.
Yeah.
I mean, even this process is already super fast. I've just, while you were entering the details in the AI platform, I've been playing through my mind what I had to do. If I had to install a website, okay, put WooCommerce on it, okay, enter the site title, and then you were already done, and you had the AI platform running, and I didn't even have the first product set up.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned WooCommerce here, and that's also another advantage, that it automatically gets installed. Okay, the website is ready.
Holy smokes.
That's
So
pretty
we
fast, huh? In a few minutes. I didn't time it, but it was not that long.
Yeah, but this is the first part of building a website. So we can preview it, we can edit it. Let's actually go here and preview it. So you can see here that this took all of our inputs. Like we have the name here, books, PDFs. We have our categories of products. We have product pages right here. So if I want to get this specific book, it has its specific product page. So we have a description here. We can add this to cart. Here we can preview the cart later on and check out. It also shows related products. So we try to create an experience which is as close as to an e-commerce store, a generic e-commerce website as possible, and also at the same time give our users options to edit this to whatever they like. We have like links to different pages. We have our shop categories, and let's go back actually to homepage. And all of these images, all of this content is generated specifically for your website. This is unique. And so this is 100% your website, taking into account the inputs that we provided just several
I
minutes
just had a question on
ago.
this. It's so when you're generating this website, it's like you say it's 100% unique, but isn't that gonna be a little bit similar to other websites generated with? I mean, let's say someone else, of course, maybe someone else doesn't want exactly a book site about this topic, but wouldn't the site look pretty similar to other ones? So you might want to tweak it if you want it to be more customized.
Yeah, of course. We are currently working on having more diverse outputs as in terms of templates, fonts, designs, and yeah, we are working on it, and it will be much more customized soon. But of course, we have the editor here, which you can access from this button. We have our TenWeb editor, which helps you to do these changes very quickly. You can customize the color patterns. You can edit the content the way you want. This is the Write with AI that I mentioned before. So
Also,
if you
can
don't like this,
regenerate content. Basically, if you, let's say, it's kind of like you can tell it to improve the website with AI, right? After you have already, let's say you don't
yes,
like certain parts and you don't want to do it yourself, you can ask the AI to do it, or the AI builder that's in the TenWeb.
yeah, exactly. For
Awesome.
example, we think that this is not something that our visitors will read. I will just simplify this language or make it shorter the way I want, and AI will do this. Okay.
I like that
And if I liked
simplify
it,
is the first option, by the way, because we
Yeah.
all tend to overcomplicate stuff because we are very familiar with the topic. And
Yeah, but even
simplifying
the
really
AI
helps.
complicates in the beginning. Like, remember
Yeah.
when we sat down together and we were writing the landing page, I was like, dude, this is not a good language for our users. We try to, or for our audience, we want to make the language a lot simpler, and or the word or the sentences, whatever it is, you want to make it as simple as possible. That's usually what works the best and what converts the best in marketing in general.
And in terms of customization, like we have different very quick customization options that will change the colors here, that will change the buttons. And again, this is just to help to get started. But whatever you want to create is completely up to your imagination. And basically what it depends on your specific use case, what kind of a website you want to create. We have, if anyone has ever used any kind of website builder, I think this interface is more or less familiar to you. You have different widgets, basically, or elements that you can drag and drop on your website and change it and then publish your website whenever you think you are ready. By the way, since we are talking about e-commerce, I want to show you one more thing. So inside our dashboard, we also have a way of editing and adding products. So if you mentioned that you are using WooCommerce, and basically we are trying to make the processes of adding products or seeing the customers, managing the orders much easier than it is on WooCommerce. So I can very easily add new products from our dashboard directly and or edit the existing products. I can again use AI to generate this. And when the new products are created, they will be displayed on my website in specific categories that I create here that I add them. For example, if I want to add another growth book, right? And also, if someone orders, I will be able to monitor this order on the orders page, whether it's in processing, whether it was completed, refunded, and everything that can happen inside an e-commerce store.
Nice.
Following through completely on this idea to simplify managing and building websites as much as you can.
I can't wait to see how this improves as well, to take something really, really custom that looks like amazing to another level. And you can also speed up. You don't need maybe a maybe you have your first version of your website. If you are really, if you're a seasoned brand, you probably will have some custom elements to your site, but then maybe to create simple landing pages or certain things, you just use an AI builder in the future to just do it really quickly. I think that is maybe I think that will be the future, and you don't need as many team members. Maybe you need a less technical team to actually implement some of these things, and will cost costs for a lot of companies, even solopreneurs, creators, people like that who might just want a one-person business as well to grow. Then you don't need a lot of team members. You can have like a VA to do a lot of this stuff, because it's a very learnable skill, as you have seen here, to use something like 10Web to implement or to create a website. So very, very nice.
Yeah, absolutely. The use cases, the potential use cases are unlimited. And as we go, we'll discover more of them.
Yeah, just hopefully with the time you might expand even to more builders than just beyond Elementor. I think that would be really cool.
One question following up on what you've just shown us. Can we add individual pages to a website with AI as well? Or is it just a process that you can use to build an entire website?
So right now, what you can do is, so we have, actually, probably shouldn't have stopped sharing here.
Yeah, you can show more inside the tool and actually do a demonstration of 10Web, if like more inside, like how inside, to kind of give people a walkthrough of the platform.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to add another page to your existing website, so basically you can either start with a blank page. You can use some pre-made pages that we have created for specific situations, like if you want to add,
let's say, a blog,
a blog page here, you can use the pre-made template that we have, and if I add this, this page will automatically inherit the designs that we have from the website, so it will be for you as well. We're thinking about using AI for this. But we decided not to, because our users, by the time they need to add another page, most of our users were already accustomed with. It's always like this when you want to do a demo.
No worries.
Things break.
Happens to the best of us.
Happens, but it's all good.
I think it's also just part of the process, like this stuff, and it's important for us to showcase this as well. When you work with AI, when you work with tech, we've had this in other sessions as well, things don't always go as planned. And then you have to take another turn, and you have to try it in a different way, and you have to reframe the prompt in ChatGPT, for example.
Yeah.
And you just have to be creative a little bit.
We had a few things like written. We had a few things, like was the blog. I think that's a lot very relevant. A landing page, contact page, podcast page, sales page, and maybe a little more how you would customize that. But could you create that, or do you say most of your customers typically just work with a full website? Or let's say I wanted a specific course website or a course sales page. Would that be possible to just generate with a 10Web platform?
So we are kind of adding these different use cases. Before it was just simple informative websites. The next one will be a blog with full functionality. I don't know when this video will go live. Maybe by that time it will be already there.
I'm sure.
We are adding similar use cases very frequently. And why not? Creating online courses can be next on the menu.
I'm just thinking for what a lot of, there's different use cases, right? But I think for sure, a podcast page, displaying a podcast is really popular because podcasting is everywhere, right? Everyone wants landing pages to maybe have an opt-in page or something like that, and create that really quickly. I think contact pages, typically that would be part of a full website. It probably is already there when you generate something, maybe you have it. And of course, a blog is very normal, so which you can already do as part of a website. So I think it's moving pretty quickly as far as I can see to be able to do this. I'm sure there's also other tools like this will be popping up. There's so many different tools. Like I was sharing with Jan, he has been working with AI for a while, and I know some tools he didn't know. So it's there's so many tools out there
Yeah.
now, which is crazy. So it's just a matter of knowing which tools to trust and which tools to kind of work with and which tools that will stick around, because I can imagine a lot of tools will also disappear because there's a lot of competition. So yeah.
Yeah, and like for example, in our case, when you create the website, you get the basic package of
Yeah.
pages, contact, some product pages, service pages. If you are, for example, a marketing agency, right, you would get service pages of what you do. But after that, you can create, you mentioned podcast pages. You can create that. The thing I like the most about WordPress is how many different plugins they have. Like, for example, there is Body Boss, which is one of the leading plugins if you want to create websites with online courses.
Yeah.
I've
So
used that with LearnDash. It's really nice, actually. Yeah.
yeah, I haven't used that one, but I'm sure it is very nice. And there, if you go deeper into research, you will find 20 more similar, very nice
Yeah.
plugins that do more or less the same activities. So being on top of WordPress is kind of what gives us the edge, I think, in terms of the services that we can provide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I put myself in the shoes of a creator who's looking to rebuild a website or build a new one, what would you say is the right mindset to approach this whole topic of building websites with AI? How do I need to see AI, and what expectations should I have?
I think you should think of AI as an assistant. This is not a magical tool or a magic wand
Ah, damn
that's
it.
going to that's just going to give you perfect results every time. Even when we're talking about ChatGPT, right? Sometimes it understands us very, very well and immediately provides the output that we want. But in 90% of the cases, you have to talk to it. You need to talk to ChatGPT, tell him or her or it, tell it to edit the output that it provided. You tell them to, okay, so this is not the style of content that I want, change it to something else. And anything basically with AI is a similar process. So it's going to help you. It will help you get started quicker. It will help you to do some actions quicker. But the approach you need to have in mind is that it's still not a magical tool to do everything for you. One day, maybe, but it's still too soon for that. So, and I had a similar experience just a couple of days ago. I started using a AI power tool that was supposed to create visuals for marketing campaigns for me. And I had very high expectations, but I was extremely disappointed because it had zero customization for me.
Mhm.
I felt like it's just providing mix matching something.
Mm.
But it's still, I'm sure, the same tool that disappointed me right now will become a magical tool in sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest criticism towards AI from a lot of people, because a lot of people are using it in the wrong way. I think they're using it to create full online courses, and AI is doing all the work, and they are basically teaching. I mean, it's like you cannot replace a person's experience and knowledge and all this. I think that's the what I see people are using it wrong. But I like that you said you're using AI as an assistant, or that's how you should see it. I think then it's actually a helpful tool that you can have in your arsenal. And I think, AI you will not be replaced by AI, but you will be replaced by someone using AI to leverage that in the business to be more productive, to, maybe enhance a website or whatever it is. But it's not going to replace your creativity and your knowledge and experience and all that. And people who are using it in this way, I think that's flawed. And there will be a lot of crappy content and a lot of crappy websites and stuff like that out there if you're not using any of your own take to this to actually personalize stuff you're doing online or in business in general.
Exactly. And I think the biggest blame goes towards AI influencers
Yeah.
who are just spamming with content and overselling the products that they are promoting, or just maybe
maybe too many faceless YouTube channels and stuff like that. But to some extent, some of them are actually good. Depends if you what kind of work you're putting into it. Depends. But like you cannot like create an online course and like teaching people with experiences. I think that then is going too far. Like selling, like basically you're just selling information that you can find anywhere. That's just AI created. That's not fair. Like to other people doing this, I think that's just gonna give a bad rep. But it's also a good opportunity for people who's leveraging AI in the right way. Maybe you're using it to create like a course outline or an outline for videos, and then you're customizing this, and then actually you can get really good information. That's how, I mean, Jan and I, we had a behind the scenes group, and we helped students with this actually to just create their outlines for courses and summits, and that's really useful. But it's not meaning they replace their experience and having AI create all the scripts or copy or whatever they need to do. That's taking it a little bit too far, I think. It's just a helpful tool. That's how I use it, at least.
I think one problem I also see too often, and that's also why we're doing these series of sessions, is you see ChatGPT cheat sheets and you see Midjourney cheat sheets, and we have our own too. But it's not like these things fix everything for you. Like too many people position a one-page PDF that says, type into ChatGPT, be more specific. Avoid being apologetic. Don't tell me that you're an AI. Those things are useful, but they are positioned as if they are the holy grail of prompt engineering.
Yeah.
What the actual hell is going on there?
I think the prompt, the prompt packs and stuff like that, it's taken a little bit too far that you can be, you're like, it's a magical pill, basically. Like you're going to be like this amazing, have this amazing business. You're learning all this. I think learning AI is really powerful. That's why we are doing this series, but also we've taken more holistic approach to this and how you can actually use it to leverage this in your business. That's what I see, that people have had a long-term business taking this as well. They're not just throwing everything out there and going like, AI is going to create all my content. They're using it as a helpful tool in their arsenal, and that's how it is. And I'm sure in the future it will be even better. And we have seen with tools like Opus Clip and stuff like that, it can do really powerful stuff to actually speed up workflows too. For example, this long video can turn into many YouTube shorts or Instagram videos and stuff like that. But that's our original content, and we are clipping this up. It's not like taking someone else's content or stuff like that. So I think that is really powerful. Tools like that, I think, will grow a lot in popularity. And same with like podcast show notes, AI, and like pulling out important information. Same with tools like you guys are with website builders and stuff like that. I think these are really, really useful. But just like coming up with new prompts and stuff like that, I think that's you just need to learn how to talk to AI. But like to be able to be more specific, you need to kind of come up with your own ideas and not just regurgitate what someone else is saying.
Exactly. There's like a huge difference between AI writing for you and instead of you. So these are two completely different things.
Great point.
Really valuable.
My biggest takeaway is to first of all have seen this in action, that it is as reliable as 10web claims to be. It is, but also to understand the future outlook. It's always, I mean, I'm building a SaaS platform based on AI myself, but even for me, I'm in the trenches every day, and I'm still surprised by what other people build and what other people's visions are, even more than what they actually build. So it's always good to see what you think the future holds ahead for us.
Yeah.
So, as I mentioned today, I think the final step will be just a person talking to AI and describing the website and then telling what edits they want. Basically, it can be from very simple things like, I want you to add padding to this element, to I want you to create a new page for me with content like this. I think all of this will be once... But before that, I think one of the things that will come sooner than what I'm just describing is creating websites based on images, like creating. But it's a bit too soon yet. But I think Midjourney is doing a great job towards that. Of course, Stable Diffusion is and their latest version is really, really great. But maybe one day you will be able to describe your website, an image will be generated from it, and then this image will be transferred to a builder like Elementor. So maybe the nearest future is something like this. There is something that we are working on right now. I mentioned it will provide more customization and more flexibility, basically. I'm not sure I can talk in more details about it, but basically it will provide our users with a much, much, much bigger selection of different themes, templates. It won't be called a template anymore.
Yeah.
That's
No,
the
but
mother of all cliffhangers right here.
yeah, the future is bright for this, and of course, if you wanna check out 10web, you can go to navid.link slash 10web, and you have a promo code Navid, so you can check it out. But I think honestly it's looking very good, like in terms of like if you want to build websites in the future, like what I'm looking for, as I said, I want something where I can like change the padding and stuff like that. I want to be very specific with my instructions, or maybe I have already a site, or I have a site, or I have a landing page, and I want just to replicate this. If AI is getting so good that I can do this, I'm gonna spend so much less time with designers, developers, all this. I can just use AI and maybe some tweaks along the way. Maybe I'll train someone like a VA or something like that I can hire from the Philippines, and it's a lot less cost basically to get things like this done. So I mean, really excited for for the future of tools like this, AI powered websites, which we talked about today here. Do you have any final words, Areg or Jan, or otherwise we'll wrap this one up here?
So once again, thanks for bringing me here. It was nice talking to you. It was nice just thinking about AI and like imagining the future, especially in website building. I personally have been waiting for this all my life, and it's here. And I'm just looking forward to see what new tools are being developed by very creative people around the world.
Awesome. Yeah. So good stuff. And yes, check out 10web and navid.link/10web. And if you like sessions like this, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, and like and comment if you have some great takeaways for me, Jan, or Areg. We'll stay tuned for your comments and feedback to this session as well. So we can
let us know in the comments what other pages you would want to see built. Maybe if we can get enough comments, maybe we get Areg back to build some websites that you are actually wanting to see.
Yeah, and probably their tool has improved a lot by the time this is going live. So it's like going so fast in the AI world. So I'm sure a lot of the things, my wishes and what we talked about today, will actually be possible in the near future using 10web and the different AI tools you have to your arsenal. So really good stuff. Thanks, guys, for coming on here, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Ciao for now.